you got your business started and you want to make $100,000 a year in junk removal? Well, I'll tell you what, to make $100,000 a year, hey, I did it. I know you can do it. All right, so I've kind of created this roadmap, especially for beginners, and I want to share it with you. You got to make sure you combine smart pricing, efficient operations, and consistent marketing. Here's a straightforward roadmap that I created to make sure it's easy so everybody can understand it, especially, somebody that eats crowns for a living. I needed something that I could break it down and understand exactly what I had to do to make $100,000 a year, right? It can be done, and it's really not a lot of hard work. It's just consistency. And if nobody knows who you are, nobody's gonna call you. So step one would be know your numbers. You wanna know your numbers. $100,000 a year divided by 12 months is $8,334. Divide that by 4 weeks in a month and you're down to $2,084 a week. Not really that hard to achieve. Everybody that's out there that's doing it more than just part-time, you can achieve this $100,000 in a year just by picking up trash. Trash is cash, baby. You know what I mean? Hey, so I sound a little weird or whatever. I guess it's the echo in my garage. I had to shut the garage door because somebody's weed eating, doing some lawn care maintenance. But I really wanted to bring this video to you so that way you can see just how easy it is to make the $100,000 plus, a year just by picking up trash. There's so many ways in junk removal that you can make money. But let's break it down step by step and go from there. So the first step was know your numbers, right? I just broke it down to you. These are very achievable. You can put that on some kind of a goal board that you might see every day so you know exactly what you need to reach numbers wise, but these are very achievable, right? So step one is out the way. You now know the numbers that you need to reach at each milestone, whether it's weekly, monthly, or of course annually every year. Step two would be set profitable pricing. A lot of people out there, they don't really know pricing. Well, the first thing I would tell you is you need to do a price analysis in your area of what other people are charging. So that means you got to make some phone calls. That means you got to find out of the box ways to find out what people are charging for their minimum. What is it for their quarter? What is it for a half load? What is it for a full load, right? But you need to set profitable, right? Profitable pricing. So here's an example that you might be able to follow. It really just depends on the area, right? There's a lot of things that I can't say, hey, in Oklahoma it's this, compared to Virginia Beach it's this. So don't beat me up. I'm not, I'm just a messenger. These are examples of breaking down profitable pricing, right? So your minimum load is what, I get the phone call, one item, maybe it's on the curb. What are you gonna charge? I'd say the minimum pricing needs to be $100 to $150. Your quarter load, whether it's in a dump truck, a box truck, trailer, pickup, whatever it is, your quarter load, and you break this down according to your equipment, needs to be between $200 and $300. Your half load needs to be about $400 to $500. And the full load, like I said, it all depends on where you live and what the pricing in your area is. But full load price, $550 to $800, really just depends what it is you're picking up. If you're picking up a full load of cardboard, use your own common sense on that one. If you're picking up concrete and debris, construction debris, it's gotta be higher. You gotta make up for that heavy weight. Your cost, right? Like I said, the pricing always results into what the cost is gonna be for you. Your cost, dump fee, $50 to $150, depending on where you live. Fuel and maintenance budget monthly should be at $300 to $600 a month. I don't know what you drive, I don't know what your equipment is, but I'd say $300 to $600 monthly set aside for fuel and maintenance. And marketing, if you're just starting off, you're in your first year, you ought to be looking at between $500 and $1,000. That's monthly to set aside to use for your budget when it comes to marketing. Like I said, if nobody knows you, then nobody's gonna call and your phone will not ring. You wanna target 60 to 70% profit margins. Okay, that's probably a perfect world, but you wanna make sure your profit margins are fair to what you and your goals are, right? So 60 to 7% profit margins. All right, so that's step one and step two. So we're gonna hit step three, which is focused on high ROI, return on investment services, jobs that pay well, okay? That could be property cleanouts, that includes estate cleanouts, evictions, but property cleanouts, construction debris removal, hoarder houses, furniture and hot tub removals, storage cleanouts. And then if you do light demolition, you got your sheds, you got your decks, you got your playgrounds. Those are very profitable jobs that you can provide these services and make a good return on investment. All right, so how do I get those jobs, right? So step four would be marketing, right? Marketing and making that phone ring, baby. You wanna make that phone ring nonstop, right? So here's some free things that you can do to make your phone ring. You can make sure Google My Business is up to date, and every week you wanna post 1 or 2 times on the updates section of your Google My Business, but make sure it's fully completed. Your profile has to be fully completed, and then you wanna add updates and photos and continue to drive Google My Business and treat it like social media. Then you got the Facebook Marketplace. You wanna be consistent. Consistency is gonna be the key word for everything, consistency. So if you don't remember anything about this video, just be consistent with your plan. So marketing, Facebook Marketplace, be consistent with your post. You also got Facebook groups. You wanna make sure that you add as many Facebook groups as possible, and you could tag 20 to 40 groups a day. You know, if you really wanna be obsessive when you start off, you can do that in the morning and then add another post in the evening, and make sure that all the posts are checked. So that way your stuff goes out to all these groups, right? And it's not necessarily gonna hit right away. They might have to be approved at first. So whenever you post to a group, it might take a day or two, for it to actually hit that page. All right, so we got Instagram account, right? Whatever you post on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, everything should mirror each other. Be consistent with all of it, okay? You wanna make sure you're consistent. Now, social media is huge, right? And a lot of times it's free. So those are the free ways to get your phone to ring. Then you have the ones that you might have to pay for. And a lot of times it's really not cheap, but sometimes it can be. So Craigslist post, 8 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That's $5, so that's $10 a day every time you do it. But it's $5 per post on Craigslist under services. Then you got Google Ads, pay per click, right? A lot of people have negative views and some people have positive views. I think in the beginning, maybe Google Ads could help you if you have that marketing budget, but I never use Google Ads. I did try Google Guarantee, and yeah, the phone's gonna flood, right? But you're gonna be charged every time you answer, regardless if you get the job or not, okay? And it's probably going to everybody. I'm not a Google Ads fan. I'm not a Google Ads person that can speak highly on what pay-per-click is because I don't use it. But I'm talking, you're in your first year, you're trying to think outside the box. How can I get my phone to ring? What do I have to do to build my brand and get my name out there so that phone does ring? So there you go. You got that. You can post ads, paid ads on Facebook. You can post and pay for ads on Nextdoor if you want to. Yelp, I would never pay Yelp, but if you wanted to, you could pay for ads on Yelp. You could go out to your local Office Depot, Office Max, and have them make you some really good flyers, some door hangers. I say those are paid because you have to pay to get them, right? And then you need to go out and do the legwork and get them out to the masses. And yard signs. Go ahead and get you like 50 to 100 yard signs and be strategic about where you put them and how long they're out. It all depends on your city's ordinance and the laws when it comes to yard signs. And step 5, right? So the final step would be work smart, not so hard. We already put in the hard work, but you want to be smarter, not work harder. Combined your jobs into the same vehicle. So in my dump truck, if I go do one job, I got extra room left over, I'll go do another job, and I'm gonna combine multiple jobs, right? Before I go to the dump. 1 dump fee, 2, 3, I've dumped 4 jobs combined at once. And that way you save money on the dump fees. You're not running back and forth, wasting fuel. So combine the jobs if you can. So instead of going to this area, to this area, to this area, right? Start better routes. You want to bunch your routes. So if you're going to be in this area of your city, try to group them together. So I know on Tuesday I got to go to this area. So I'm going to take all the jobs close to that area and I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to do this area. That way you're not wasting fuel. You know, you're not putting stress on your vehicle. You can go to the dump that's closest to that area. So just want to make sure that you're combining those routes. So you're staying in one general area and you're not all over the map for that day. I call it batch routes. And then you always want to get Google reviews. Reviews drive your business. People look at reviews. Always, once you're done with the job, ask about doing a review, right? Tell the customer, hey, we also do discounts for referrals. So if this customer refers you to this person, and you get discounts, right? And then you want to track everything. So if you get a phone call and Sally from BFE, Oklahoma, asks for, your services, you should ask for location, a description maybe of what they are what you're gonna see when you do the estimate in person. And then you're gonna ask them, how did you find me today? And a lot of times they'll say, hey, I looked you up on Google, you had really good reviews, or I was referred by Tina, you did a job for her, and now I called you based on what she said about you, or I found you on Facebook. You want to track, so that way you can look back and find out, okay, I had 50 jobs from Facebook, I had 20 jobs from Google. You just want to be able to track and know, so that way going into year 2, you kind of know where you're going to focus your money, your effort, right? Where did the jobs come from? That way year 2, you know which way to kind of pivot to make your business better. All right. So those are the 5 steps to get to the $100,000 a year. It is so possible. I'm telling you, I did $100,000 my first year in the first 7 months, and I was shocked. I didn't know what the hell I was doing in the beginning. I didn't ask for reviews. I didn't have, other than YouTube University, I didn't really know. So let's break it down even further, all right? I'm planning Monday to Friday next week. You 5, 6, 7 days a week. I don't know what your plan is, but here's a realistic example. On Monday, you're gonna do 2 jobs, $500 to $800 is what you're gonna make out of those 2 jobs. On Tuesday, $250 to $400 for 1 job. Wednesday is another 2 jobs. That's that $500 to $800 range. On Thursday, you're gonna be at maybe just 1 job. That's $250 to $400. Friday, you get 2 jobs. That's that $500 to $800. So that's $2,000 to $3,000 a week. That's $104,000 to $156,000 every year. So I don't know about you. I'm not trying to be a millionaire, but if you do that in 1 year and then you can build off of that once you have experience, once you have kind of your own roadmap where you live, what you're doing, and your brand starts to take off, you can do well over that, right? There's guys out there making millions, making $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 in a year. But we're just talking $100,000, right? That's an achievable goal once you got the hang of, hey, I can make $50,000. Now I need to shoot for $100,000. This is a roadmap to get you over $100,000 a year in junk removal. And as long as you're out there and you're following a process and you're being smart and you're not wasting money, but you're gonna waste a little bit, you always are gonna have to learn the hard way for certain things. We all have learned the hard way on certain things. So that's your roadmap. There's 5 steps to get to $100,000. I hope you like this video. I hope you comment. And if you disagree with me, that's fine. Let me know in the comments what you would do to get $100,000 a year legally in junk removal. And don't even, I didn't even say nothing about getting appliances and metal and taking it to the dump or to the scrap yard, getting paid for that. I mean, that's a bonus. Maybe you work 5 days a week, but that Saturday is an extra day, right? There's so many ways that you can get to this goal of $100,000. So don't let anything stop you. Don't let the naysayers deter you. Set it in writing, write your goals out, know what you want, and go get it. And until the next video, there's no excuses, just hustle. And it's Matt from Anchors Away Junk Removal and Hauling. We haul it all, but the mother-in-law. I'll see you guys on the next video. Like I said, I appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe. And if you watched the whole video, I truly appreciate you. Thank you. Have a great Memorial Day, and we'll see y'all next week.